Initially it was like, well, if I'm gonna be like dating, I might as well make art out of it. I had some text in my field profile that was like, I'm working on a portrait series, would you be interested? So whenever I received like a ping from someone, the very first thing I would say like, hey, I'm working on this project, are you available like at this time on this date to come to my studio? Hi, I'm Dianne. I'm an artist, predominantly working with photography, and right now we are in my kitchen in Santa Monica. And I found that people on field, because there is an openness about sexuality, tend to be open about other realms of their identity too. To see so many different images of people representing themselves was mind-blowing. It was sexy and confusing and like pathetic and upsetting and beautiful and just like full spectrum of humanity, and I needed some kind of way to process all of that information, and my art is apparently how I do that. So Gaze is a book that juxtaposes self-representation with external perception. There was a really fun moment, like maybe it was like the 4th or 5th person that I shot. After the shoot, we came in here in this kitchen and I had left the door to my studio open, and we were like starting to make out. It was very sexy. We were like starting to walk into my bedroom, and then like very intense knocks on the door outside the kitchen. The property that I live on was having an open house, and the realtors were like, hey, we need you to close the studio door, da da da. And it was just such a funny feeling of like being an adult, having this like very adult experience, and then like feeling like a kid being caught by this like realtor. I will acknowledge that like all of us contain many different kinds of energies, masculine, feminine, and fluid. But a big takeaway that I had from interviewing many people of many different genders is that folks who are more masculine in their energy take in image with far less filter, whereas those with like a much more feminine energy look at images with far more scrutiny because there is like a need to perceive for safety. Definitely more women and people with a more femme presentation are much more able to come into the like, I am presenting as an object of desire, I know how to work it. And I think that concept is out of reach for a lot of people that don't have an understanding of their bodies the way that like a feminine energy would lead to. That disconnect was the most exciting to photograph, when someone would have like a really like raunchy representation on field, and then like in walks this like schmagag who's like just here to like have a conversation and is like going back to his corporate job. It's like a very nice like, oh, we're all a little freaky. So I really decided to keep this project just with fields because I wanted it to be with people who would feel just as open talking about themselves, talking about their experience of image as a place of desire. I didn't feel like any other community would have that same kind of